So our friend Chris wanted to have us make a couple videos on what we're doing with the band and progress along the way, so we can help you guys out there on YouTube. Today is April 25th, and it's Thursday. Got some decent weather, so we're working on getting the windows kind of bolted down. We did the other one last week. What we've done so far is we got the window out. Got the area kind of prepped up. I mean, there's a lot of silicone on it, and I mean, we could probably spend all day trying to get that off, but I think just kind of getting it a little bit prepped is a good thing. So we're gonna put some screws in, put some ProFlex over that. Basically what it was held in with, and go over here, take a peek at the driver's side rear window. It was held in with this putty tape, which is kind of bizarre, but that was holding it in as long as pressure to the paneling on the back side. So worked on that. So it should take us probably half an hour tops. So we'll give you some videos of that. Yesterday I came back in, did some pop riveting right in here. I was going to weld this bracket up here, and then there's that other bracket over there that's been pop riveted as well. So I was going to do the welding there. I went over to my dad's to see if he could help me out with that, but he didn't have a welder, and he said even if he did, he'd be a little leery about welding it up, just because it would burn the paint up on the outside. So suggested doing the pop riveting, so we just drilled a couple holes, put those in. You can see from the outside that it's not too obtrusive. Gonna put a little bit of sealant on those, maybe paint them up. This is the window that we did last week. Just put some screws in, cleaned it up, put the ProFlex on there. You can only really see it when you're pretty up close. Probably go back through there and clean it up a little bit if we got some time, but it doesn't look too bad from a distance. It's no trophy clean, but we'll get the job done. Went back through yesterday and I put down some duplicolor undercoat on the walls with some sound guard in it, hoping that takes down the chatter in the back, as well as sealing up some leaks back there. So had that going on. We just kind of threw some tape around that, and we're probably going to do that today too. It's just cheaper than what is it, Flexi Seal that they sell in the can with the guy in the boat. So did that. It actually kind of turned out pretty good, you know. It's a lot duller in sound too. So this stuff actually, if you can get to it quick enough, it cleans up with the 3M adhesive remover and the spray can pretty easily. You can also use a razor scraper to clean it up too. And of course, do your prep work in the area with some denatured alcohol or some acetone. As well as I put some Sealant primer on there too, to just cover up the rusty spots. So did that. That should set up in about an hour, but you want to make sure that the area that you do it in, especially if it's a closed area like this, is well ventilated, so it does get pretty fumy. So with that, we'll get started on getting that window sealed up, and we'll get back to you guys in just a second. And we are back. We've got the window in. Got 6 screws in it. And unfortunately, what happened was we placed it a little bit higher, and we're having some issues where the screws weren't really catching. So got these 2 holes here to kind of plug up. But you know, it's a learning experience. Sometimes this stuff happens. Our next thing to do is we're gonna do some sealant. Put some Flexi Seal ProFlex there, RV. It's clear stuff. So I think they recommend just doing this like 6 inches, or well, 5 or 6 inches at a time, and then going back over it, using your fingers as a tool instead of, you know, the stuff that you buy at the store. And then just so your fingers don't get sticky, it's less goopy to work with. We've got some soapy water here. It's about 50 to 50 water and dish soap mix. So we're just gonna kind of lay a bead in there and go to town. We'll show you what we're gonna kind of how this process works with both of us working on it. So my friend Ryan's gonna lay a bead on there. Alright, I've got some soapy fingers here. Just gonna kind of work it in there. You have to get some excess off, that's fine too. I mean, this stuff does kind of goop up. But, you know, sorry for the glare, everybody. But we're having kind of a really nice spring so far here in the Pacific Northwest, so it's kind of an oddity. So yeah, just kind of work it in, work it around the cracks, get it in there. I think we usually let this stuff sit for a couple hours before we try to do anything with it, but so far we haven't had any problems with it. So there we go. If you have any excess, just kind of wipe it off. But you know, from a distance, I mean, it looks goopy, but up close, but at a distance it doesn't really matter. So let's try to work it in the cracks, seal it up. So we're gonna let you go for a little bit, and we'll give you a view of the finished product when we're done. Alright, we are back. This is kind of the finished product. I mean, it's still kind of messy, but probably dry up in about an hour. Probably want to let this sit overnight to cure up, but it doesn't look too bad. Yeah, kind of filled in those holes right there, so might paint over them or something like that just to make it look nice, but not too bad. It's about as far as we've gotten so far. We're hoping to come back and use the undercoat on the inside here. Try to get that ready for insulation and paneling. But we're gonna make a run to the Home Depot or Lowe's, whichever is closest. Try to get some supplies for insulation paneling. Try to do this one up as kind of our test and see how that works. And we'll be back with you guys in just a second. So yeah, sounds good. Alright, we are back with you guys. Right now, kind of winding up our day, so we're going to be doing some undercoating on this side. Just to act as a sealant, as well as some sound protection as well. It's what we're using. I'm not really advocating Duplicolor. It's just what was at my work, and it was fairly cheap. So this pretty much works as Flexi Seal does. It's a kind of rubberized sealant in a can, so it was just like $5 less. So still trying to do this on a budget, you know. As you can see over on this side too, we've done a little bit of insulation with some Reflectix, and we just kind of cut those panels to meet our needs, and put on some you know, some spray out adhesive, and kind of wedge that in there. It's looking pretty good, so hoping to get some of the pink styrofoam stuff in there, and then cover it up with a vapor barrier, and then or I should say a moisture barrier. Don't know what I was thinking about vapor barrier, but put a moisture barrier on there and throw some paneling over it and be good to go. So as we can see here, we're just kind of getting ready. It takes like 3 minutes to get these cans ready. Keep filming. Ryan's shaking up 2 cans for us. As soon as he's done, I'm gonna have him hop in there and show you how to apply this. So that's okay. Just sitting there. But yeah, we're getting a little bit more progress done. I'm hoping to get my brother-in-law over here to take a look at the electrical and see if we can work something out with that. He's a licensed electrician, commercial and residential, so a little bit different, but he's seen a lot of different applications in this stuff. So gonna go around on the outside, show you kind of the progress of what's been happening out here too since we started this morning. It's sealed up pretty well. I guess the true test will be you know, next weekend when we can come back over and start hosing her down, see where the leaks are coming from. I know we got a little bit of a leak up in the topper here. I don't know if that's through the fiberglass or one of the screws or even this window up here, so it's leaking down into one of the channels. We're gonna have to clean that out and maybe put some of this undercoating stuff in there and try to seal that up if the screws are the problem. So then that's a big if. We got our panels here on the side. That's what we did last weekend, and they've dried up pretty well. They're pretty well coated up. I mean, nothing fancy, but looks a lot better than it did. I mean, I was using this, as you can see from this 110 outlet on the exterior, nasty caulking stuff that's just silicone, and it just looks gnarly. So we're gonna probably take this out, replace it, and as you can see up here, it's yanking off. So I'm gonna go back through, try to get this side cleaned up. I think I probably mentioned earlier, you know, keep this keep the area well ventilated. It's supposed to, you know, harden and dry in about an hour, but we're gonna let it set overnight, which is I'd probably recommend, especially when I did that side. You know, it was nice and dry the next day and easy to work with. So don't try to get too antsy with your projects. Sometimes it's just better to just take a step back and let them do what they need to do. Otherwise you just kind of muck things up and have to go back and do them all over again. It's a learning process, everybody. So I'm gonna have Ryan jump in here. I'm gonna pop open one of them and give everybody a demonstration of what this stuff comes out as. Yeah, there we go. And I'm hoping, we've got 3 cans of this stuff, and I'm hoping it can cover it up. We're not going to go too crazy on the coats, but just enough to seal it up. And above that. So I'm gonna hop up in here and grab the other can. We're gonna work on this and hopefully bust it out within, you know, probably the next half hour. And I'll give you guys an update at the end of the day, and we'll see you guys in just a bit. Alright YouTube, we are back. Got all this coated with the undercoating. I mean, it's not perfect, but let me walk around real quick and show the interior. Most are knocked down. We had enough sense to throw a plastic cover over the seats before we did this, so this will set up in about an hour. Give it 24 hours to cure up. I've probably already said that a dozen times, but there we go. So that's done. Ryan's taken off for the day. Just working on cleanup. Next week we're going to try to get the paneling up and some more insulation. I'm hoping, if I got some time tomorrow, we can come back in and